He has 15,000 followers, and I know for a fact that you're making more money than people that we know who have 300 to 700,000 followers.
Instagram direct message video is one of the most important ways to use video on Instagram. Most people are not doing it. Social media is changing every day, but there's one thing that you can't ignore, and that's the power of video. We're going to show you today the 6 most important ways for you to be using video. My name is Craig Ballantyne.
And I'm Bedros Keuilian.
Welcome to the Empire Podcast. Here we go, Bedros. Let's talk about, well, with all the new video forms out there, people are asking, how do I use Instagram TV? How do I use Instagram video? Is YouTube still a thing? So let's start off with YouTube. It's still a thing.
It's absolutely a thing.
All right, so what is the best way to be using YouTube right now?
Well, first let's talk about one of the best ways to use videos, right?
Got it.
There was a time when, as entrepreneurs, we were marketing with words, meaning words that were printed on a website, words that were printed on a flyer, words that were printed on a postcard, direct mail piece. And when you're marketing with words, it's very one-dimensional. Right? When all of a sudden, if you meet someone, the marketer behind those words, and you get to see their passion and their purpose, and you see the fire in their eyes and why they started that business and why they think it's the best product out there, you really begin to fall in love with the product and the brand. Videos now allow us to do that without ever meeting the man behind the brand or the woman behind the brand, right? And so anyone that thinks that, well, others are doing videos, but I'm not good enough, or I'm not qualified enough, or I don't think I'm ready, you are leaving a tremendous amount of money on the table because you're not closing prospects who could easily be closed once they hear your reason why you created your product or service or widget. So where videos are concerned, it's not a suggestion, it's a prescription for success. And where YouTube is concerned, well, it's still the number 2.
It's the second biggest search engine online, right?
Yeah. Google being number 1, YouTube being number 2. And so if your product's not found on YouTube, it's not found, period. Yeah. Right? And where else can you create a series of shows or videos that showcase your products, put out the testimonials of client usage, of explain your reason why, your vision, your mission with the product, maybe how it's tied to contribution and significance and meaning, than a platform like YouTube that now most people have a traveling TV with them called their iPhone, right? And they're watching that stuff on YouTube where you have more than just a minute like you would have on Instagram.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just to brag a little bit, the other day I checked my YouTube stats. One of my videos has now been watched 3 million times.
Holy smokes.
And it's only been out for 2 or 3 years.
Which one is it?
It's a 4-minute workout.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's crazy. I filmed it at Brian Calicay's place up
I remember when you were up there.
Yeah, so that is a great point. And I mean, your YouTube videos are fantastic. Vinny D has a great YouTube channel. Now, Instagram TV is like YouTube. How's this working? What is your take on it? For me, I think that it's a decent place to start, but it's not the most important place for you to be putting your emphasis in Instagram right now. I think people are still feeling it out. You're able to put longer content on there, but I realize that contributors are actually limited to the amount of content they can put up there. I'm limited to a 10-minute video on Instagram TV right now with my 15,000 followers. What are your thoughts on Instagram TV?
And I actually kind of feel the opposite about this, and I'll tell you why. We saw this happen with Facebook Live. When Facebook Live first came out several years ago, Facebook was encouraging its users to make live videos. And if you made a live video versus if you, on the same content with the same number of viewers, put up a live video versus you, same content, same viewers, put up a video that you previously recorded, the one that was live would get more distribution, more traction, and would get in front of a bigger audience.
Got it.
Facebook picks and chooses what it wants to drive more traffic to, and obviously it's going to pick and choose its most newest and what it wants to make most popular.
Got it.
So since Facebook owns Instagram, and since Instagram, what is Instagram doing? Well, it's saying, look, if I want to compete with YouTube, I need to somehow create a platform where we can put longer than 1-minute videos. We got 15-second videos in the stories. We got 1-minute videos in the timeline. What do I do to compete with YouTube? Aha, I'll create Instagram TV.
Got it.
And we see why they're doing it. See, we have to look deeper and deeper and deeper into it. If you turn on your TV, now when I turn on my television, I see Amazon, movies, I see Hulu, I see Netflix, and now I see YouTube and Facebook trying to compete. Make no mistake about it that Instagram is trying to become a network just like YouTube and Facebook and all these other platforms. And so if Instagram is trying to become a network, it's giving us the opportunity, us entrepreneurs, thought leaders, motivators, influencers, to become a show.
Yeah.
And that's what Instagram TV is all about. So I say go all in on it because I notice when I'm making my IGTV episodes, it is giving me broader reach. And I think it's forcing it upon my audience because that's what Instagram wants people to see right now is longer videos.
Are you doing anything specific in terms of the content you're delivering? Are you just doing similar to the stuff that you'd put on YouTube or stuff you'd put on Facebook Lives?
Good question. Because they named it IGTV and because I did a little bit of research, which is like 2 Google searches, why did Instagram create this TV thing? I saw what it was after. It wants to create a YouTube type experience and make itself a network.
Yeah.
And what do we know about networks? They want shows that are episodic, branded on a theme, right? And so mine is all about an inside look into how I'm growing the Fit Body Bootcamp franchise and how you could apply it to your business. So every episode that I'm doing is, here's what happened at Fit Body Bootcamp this week or today, and here's what we did about it, and here's how you could apply it in your business. It's not the motivation stuff. It's not the, hey, how to use your darkness or rage to drive business. It is just straight up what I'm doing. It's almost like an inside look into the day-to-day growth of Fit Body Bootcamp, the franchise, and how the viewers can use that as a blueprint in their entrepreneurial experience.
Awesome, awesome. So let's go to the main feed now. I just noticed the other day you had 50,000 views on one of your videos, on one of your 1-minute videos.
Yeah.
Ed Milet had nearly 1 million views on his short little clip when he interviewed the guy who shot Osama bin Laden. That was really cool.
Yeah, Robert O'Neill.
Yeah, so what are you learning and doing and implementing with your Instagram videos on your main feed?
What I'm noticing is, and it's funny, I've got my guys right here, my video guys right here, and we've got a team of 4 badass video guys, but still the ones that I make in the car that are grainy, that are organic, that are off the cuff. I think part of it is, it's off the cuff because inspiration hit me and I want to do it now, so I put the little suction cup thingy up there, clip my phone on there, bobbing out to music, and then off I go. But those still the organic, authentic ones. Yep. And when you look at the one that Ed Milet did, yeah, that's very interesting. Like the only guy that killed Osama bin Laden. It wasn't like we dropped a bomb and we don't know who. The man, Robert O'Neill, who killed Osama bin Laden. But it was a very grainy video. So it's content and it's how organic and authentic it looks. When it's overproduced, I'm convinced that it gets underviewed.
Yeah, and then adding the words when possible.
Yeah, the captions
is also a big one.
And by the way, when we're writing captions, I started, you and I teach in our workshops, Star Story Solution, right? When you're writing a sales video or a sales copy or email copy. I went back to our lessons of Star Story Solution, and that's how I write my captions. So whether it's a video I'm posting up or a picture, what's the star or who's the star in that picture or video? What's the story behind it? Like the other day I put up one of my Chucks. I was just sitting on a desk.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, right? And the star was me.
Yeah.
The star was me in this particular one, and the story was about how I had to wear a bow tie when I worked at Disneyland and a uniform, and I didn't like it, and I worked till 3 in the morning, and my pay got docked because my sideburns were slightly too long. And so the solution was that I was going to become an entrepreneur and create a business where I gave people the ability to use their creativity and have a voice, regardless of tattoos or sideburns or beards or whatever. And that's exactly what I've created today. And then I gave a call to action to my audience. Like, what are you waiting on to make the leap, right? And so Star Story Solution, the caption is so important. And if you could do that, great video or picture plus Star Story Solution, I think that's a big advantage.
Awesome. So Instagram stories, I know you don't use it too much because you're so darn busy running Fit Body Bootcamp.
But you are the man with Instagram stories, and I want to know how to make money with it like you do.
Yeah, I say it's absolutely the #1 free way to turn Instagram into what I call the social cash machine. So making about 60 to 90 second videos, maybe even 30 to 45 second shorter videos sometimes. You make the video not using the Instagram story feature, but you make a longer video using your regular camera. Then you use an app like Cut Story, that's the one I use. There's another one called Continual. You chop it up into 15-second segments so that it seems like a natural flow when people watch it. And then you go and you do the star story solution in that 60 to 90 seconds. For example, one I just posted today, I actually did at the end of one of my workshops. I did a selfie video of me and one of my happy clients. We talked about him as the star, his story, the solution that he got from the day. That was a 90-second video. Then I put it up in the little clips, put some text in it, so that if people, I actually did a poll where 25% of people watch stories with the audio off. So if you only have talking head, you got nothing. You got no lesson applied. So I'll put polls in for engagement because Instagram's going to reward you for that, telling people to comment, slide the thing, happy face and all that. And so put some text to give context at the top, and so that even if someone just scrolled through it really fast, they would get the gist of the message from that 60 to 90 second series of clips.
Question.
Yes.
Because I'm also going to take this advantage in a learning experience from someone who's making a ton of money using on Instagram. That's you. Did I just hear you say only 25% of the people watch the videos with the sound
75% on? Watch it with the sound on.
75.
And that was a survey of about 150 people who answered my little poll. 25% no sound on.
Got it.
Yeah. So I actually thought it was going to be more people with sound off, but that's what they said.
Wow. Okay.
So then at the end, you've delivered great content and you've earned the right to make a call to action, which is, in the best case, is actually direct messaging. Some people, if you have over 10,000, you can do swipe up. Haven't seen the swipe up been that great, because then they have to swipe up, they go to a link, they go off Instagram. Just getting the conversation going, especially for high-price coaching. So any nutrition coaches, any business coaches, you want to get people into the Instagram direct message system where it's like just going back and forth with some like an email or text messaging. And that's where I sell the $5,000, even had a $25,000 workshop sale through Instagram direct messaging without a phone call.
That is nuts. By the way, can you tell our friends how many followers do you have?
I now have 15,000.
He has 15,000 followers, and I know for a fact that you're making more money than people that we know who have 300 to 700,000 followers because they're not using this strategy.
Yeah, I would say if you're not making $2 per follower per week, you're really doing something wrong.
Can we role play something for a minute?
Yeah.
Because I'm committed to getting more money from my stories.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm not. So I put up a story.
Yep.
Better yet, let's do this. You put up a story, and the story is of you and your successful client from a workshop.
Yep.
And what is the call to action that you give that would get me to send you a DM?
At the end of it, we're talking about the power of accountability. He's like, today was amazing. It was a huge breakthrough in your workshop. I got clarity. I know exactly how I'm going to grow my business. And best of all, Craig, you're going to give me that year of accountability. I didn't tell him I didn't script that, anything. So I take that and I run with it because that's the biggest part of my coaching program. So I say, hey, listen, if you want accountability like I'm giving to Tim, send me a direct message.
Okay, so let's let the role play start there. Hey, Craig, this is Bedros. I just saw what you did with Tim. Man, how do I get in on that workshop?
Hey, Bedros, great to meet you.
You too.
Yes, and do that by video. Do that by video. Here's the thing. This is getting a little bit ahead of us because Instagram direct message video is one of the most important ways to use video on Instagram. Most people are not doing it. And you mentioned before at the start, oh, people don't want to do video, I'm not good at it. That's how you get good at it. So no longer like even in your texts, don't do texting anymore. Do video. Do video so that you get better going.
Brilliant. Because it's repetition.
Good. Right. And then, you make a little 15-second. Hey, Bedros, great. Hey, Bedros, great to meet you. So awesome to hear from you. Thanks for sending me that message. Just tell me a little bit more about the opportunities and obstacles in your business. And then I would actually, because most people don't have the sound on when they watch the video, they'll write back and say, oh, I missed the sound in that video. So.
Oh, because it only shows once.
Yeah. So I'll do the video just so they're like, wow, what a great personal touch. And then I will say the same stuff in a text underneath that video. So I send them 2 messages right away. And I will say, Bedros, tell me more about the opportunities and the obstacles in your business. So I don't even mention what the workshop's all about right now.
Interesting.
I want you to start
We're engaging.
Selling. Yeah, and you're selling yourself on like, well, here are the opportunities and here are the obstacles. I'm going to need help in this.
Okay.
I gotcha.
So then I go, all right, Craig, here are the opportunities and here are the obstacles. I need to build a leadership team and because I have a lot more leads coming in and I need a bigger sales team. So great obstacles, some roadblocks, and I need help in figuring it out.
Great. Let me tell you more about how the workshop works. And you know what? This is all from the sales training, the phone sales training that you gave to me about 1.5 years ago. Yeah. Because you taught me to get on the phone with somebody and say, hey, tell me about your business. Tell me about the problems you're having right now. Tell me about where you want to get to, right? Point A, point B. Now I come along and say, the workshop fills that gap. You're at point A, you're kind of in a lot of pain here, you see all that opportunity, you want that better life, right? Yeah. Right? Okay, great. But there's a gap, and it's filled by the workshop. So I have a standard answer that I then go back. So the last time I answered it, I'll go into the direct message, I'll copy that, go back to the message, and I'll paste it in, change the name, change the location, maybe change a line or two, send that, and then I'll go back to the other message. I'll copy the follow-up message, which is, oh, and by the way, I don't tell everybody this, but there's an actual major bonus that you actually get 1 year of accountability from me as well, in addition to the coaching workshop.
Question.
Yes.
Can I ask you to share with us what that other copy and paste, like the gist of that message is?
Right, so the first one is, here's how the workshop goes. You come in, you're all cluttered, you're all confused, you're overwhelmed. By the end of the day, you walk away with complete clarity. You know exactly what to do. You know exactly what to stop doing. You set boundaries, and you walk away with that clear plan to execute. Oh, and then I send the second one. And by the way, in addition to that, you also get a bonus 1 year of coaching and accountability email from me, where I'm going to follow up and hold you to this and keep you on track, because we both know that's the most important part of any type of coaching.
Got it. So I read that, and by the way, really that first message that you're sending, where you're copying and pasting and then changing a few lines around, before anyone buys anything, they want to know how the day is going to look. Yeah, we saw Tim in the video and we saw the outcome, like, oh my gosh, I have so much more clarity, and the year of accountability coaching is such a blessing. Well, that was his outcome. Mm-hmm. But now in that text message you're sending is really, here's how the day is going to look, here's how we're going to break down the obstacles in your life, and then here's how we're going to align the opportunities to serve you better. Mm-hmm. And so when people have an understanding of what the voyage looks like, whether it's a day or a year of coaching or the outcome the product is going to produce, they're more likely to buy. So then, of course, you finish it off with the bonus. Yeah. We call it the Moab, the mother of all bonuses, yeah. Right? And the mother of all bonuses is, oh, by the way, you also get a free year of accountability coaching, which is just an amazing offer. And at what point do you, so let's say I respond back and go, holy cow, Craig, that sounds very interesting. But I didn't say how much is it or when's the next one. I just kind of give you a lukewarm response. Holy cow, Craig, that sounds interesting.
Yeah,
how do you close them?
Yeah, so one of my favorite things about Instagram, like if you didn't reply back, I still know that you've seen it, right? So I love that about Instagram, because when I'm selling these things, I don't expect to do it same day. Sometimes I do it same day, but I expect like about a 5 to 7 day cycle on this. So I'll let as much as 24 hours go by, and then I'll nudge them. And so like, let's say you did say, okay, well, I'm interested in that. And then I might say, okay, well, let's get on the phone call and talk about it. So if I don't think that there's a warm enough relationship here, then I'll go to a phone call and say, hey, let's jump on a phone call and we'll talk about it, because I have a pretty good phone sales system dialed in. So I'm okay with getting on the phone. Now, if I want to continue it on there, I will probably say something about what you talked about with the obstacles and opportunities. So I'll go back and say, yeah, I might let 24 hours pass, and I'll say, so how's that going with that obstacle that you mentioned? So we start to dig a little bit deeper into the thing that's frustrating you. And so then you'll open up a little bit more, and I'll figure out, okay, I can accelerate this down the path of selling on Instagram. Maybe I need to take it to a phone call. Sometimes I'll do a video. I might do a video response. I'm mixing it up to make them know that it's still me, and to just keep that conversation going until I have all the information I need. Or you might say that you're interested, and then I can immediately go to a social proof. Hey, listen, Bedros, I'm 100% confident that I can help you, because I actually once helped a guy with the same name as you get clarity because you've gone through the workshop. Right. I've helped somebody in your situation. I've helped my friend Joe Polish, who's growing who has a fast-growing business. I've helped Joel Marion. I've helped all these people just like you who have young kids. Listen, I can help you on this. So then I might, if I know that they're a good fit, I might say, you're a perfect fit for the program. How would you like to get started? Would you like to register online, or do you want one of my team members to reach out to you? So every question that I now come up with always has A or B. Whether I say, hey, do you want payment plan A or payment plan B? do you want to come to the Toronto workshop on July 13th or the one on August 1st? Always giving them the options and never letting it go to a yes, no.
Gotcha.
Because that kills it.
Got it. So when you have an A or B option, they're going to pick one or the other.
Yeah.
If it's a yes or no, that they're 50% likely to pick the no.
Right.
Right?
Kills
Got it. All right. Just this strategy alone was brilliant. And knowing that there's a $2 per follower number attached. Like, I love metrics because then I'll just go back, reverse engineer the math.
Yeah.
I'm being very selfish here, but I'm also speaking, what I'm about to ask for is for our friends who have the big followers, 100,000 followers or more. Yeah. Now, I noticed I'm right around 52,000 followers as of the filming of this episode. This has become a coaching session, really, so I appreciate it. But we'll keep going deep. I
love it. I'm so fascinated by Instagram. That's why I want to do this show.
I've got about 52,000 followers right now, and I felt like right around 30,000, like I couldn't keep up with the number of DMs. Sure. So is this something, all I'm thinking is scale. Is this something I teach a team member to do, or a couple of team members, and commission them out? Because
Absolutely.
How do I scale this?
Yeah, so if you are selling them into coaching or whatever it is, and you're gonna get tons of leads and follow-ups, it's all scripted. I mean, it's just like how you have people selling FitBody on the phone.
Yeah.
You can teach them the same sort of thing. So you'll have to do a little bit of legwork figuring it out and go, okay, here's the path, here's the information we need to give them, and then, okay, great, you're gonna be in charge of the Instagram account. And that's the way it would go. And you know, they might ask you for a standard video. So not only can you do an Instagram video, you can actually take a video from your camera roll, right? So you could make a standard camera roll video that's under 15 seconds just to make sure it goes through. And like, hey, great to meet you. Hey, it's Bedros here, great to meet you. Thanks for the DM. I'm gonna put all the information about the program underneath here.
Gotcha.
And then your team member goes through. Now there's one thing, there's two other lines in there that in my Instagram direct message that I absolutely love, and I just want to share these because they're so cool. It's human psychology.
You're so geeking out right now.
I know.
I love this.
It's human psychology, and so eventually someone's going to ghost on you, right?
Sure.
You're in this. It's like with a girl, right? You're in this hot and heavy direct, text messaging. You're like, gone. So. And I've actually taught this to somebody, and they used it with a girl, so I know that definitely works. So the first thing is that the last time, when they saw the message. Okay, they saw the message at 11:59 a.m. on Tuesday. 3 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon, it's been over 24 hours. That's the grace period I give somebody. 2 words. Stolen it from Dean Jackson. Instead of the 9-word email, it's the 2-word direct message. Still interested?
Ooh.
Yeah, still interested. That's not the best one though. Then, a little bit goes by, I might give them 48 hours. Everything okay?
Ooh.
Because everything okay, like people freak out, like they'll get back to you right away.
Like, oh my gosh, everything's fine.
Yeah, totally, and everything's fine, I'm just really busy. And that's often what people will say. And that was the line that a guy used on Bumble. I said, first try still interested and then try everything okay. And then he sent me a screenshot, like, look at the answer she gave me when I said everything okay, question mark. Because like, I really care, is everything okay? And so people will give you a really long answer because in most cases, what I've realized is that not everyone's on Instagram that much as entrepreneurs or somebody who geeks out on it. Yeah. And so they are away from it, or they got really busy at work or whatever it is. And they really want to get back to you, but maybe it got buried. Maybe they're really popular. They do a lot of direct messaging. And they get back to you and go, yeah, everything's totally okay. I just got really busy with work, still super excited to do the workshop. And you just need to nudge them. There's a lot of nudging that goes on in the Instagram system. And the great thing is you can do the everything okay, you can do a video, and you're just nudging and you're politely persistent.
I love that.
And it's funny because we've done a little bit of this on Empire Podcast before. And when I'm starting to nudge people, I go, oh, I saw this on your show. And they still invest, but they're like, I saw this on the show. Yeah. You're being politely persistent. And then they put the smiley face and they're like, I'd like to see you practice what you preach. And people do.
Great. Yeah. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Holy cow. So if you weren't coming up with an Instagram product, I would say we should just package this up and sell it.
Right. All right, man.
But since you are, and you're so damn good at it, and you've proven it, good for you. But anyway, so keep going. What about more videos? I just love this.
So let's go. So, we talked about Instagram TV and YouTube, which is one form, the Instagram main feed, the Instagram stories, and now let's talk about Instagram and Facebook video ads. This is where you're a master of telling those stories about Fit Body Bootcamp owners. Just a game changer. It's really fantastic.
Yeah.
So what should people be thinking of? It's definitely the #1 way to scale with video.
Yeah. Remember, the whole idea of selling is typically one-to-one. Like if you're lucky and you're a stage speaker, then you're going to be on stage and you'll have 1 to hundreds or 1 to 1,000 or a couple thousand, whatever. Well, you could literally go 1 to 1 million, 1 to 1 billion if you want on social media ads. And actually we are now scaling on YouTube as well. That's become our third most valuable lead source for Fit Body Bootcamp. So #1 is Facebook, #2 is my email list, #3 is YouTube.
Got it.
Is YouTube. So, by the way, let that be proof to you that don't discount your email list. It's still a very powerful medium. But ads on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook are all about pulling at the heartstrings. You think about all three of them, they're platforms of social media. We want to socialize, we want to connect. I look at YouTube, Instagram, Facebook as a really giant Starbucks. And you would never walk into Starbucks and go to everyone sitting at a coffee table and going, hey, you want to buy this? Hey, you want to buy this? Hey, you want to buy this?
Hey, it's free plus shipping.
Right? You would never do that. However, what you might do is sit down with them, buy a coffee, share a coffee, and tell them your story and why you came up with the idea of your book or your product or your franchise and your service. And over time, they buy into the idea and then they buy into the sale. Yeah. And so what we've done now is we've got 4 video guys, and these guys will fly out to locations across the United States and film case studies of our owners. And we, again, going back to Star Story Solution. Hey, meet this person. He was a personal trainer. He had a gym. It was struggling. He felt like he had no solution as far as building a lifestyle for his wife and his newborn baby until he discovered Fit Body Bootcamp. And when he did, these are the doubts and these are the fears and these are the frustrations he had. Is it going to cost me too much? What if it doesn't work? What if it fails? And it wasn't until he got on the phone with Richard where Richard was able to show him other people just like him and connected him with validators, other people just like him who were able to give him confidence that, hey, Fit Body Bootcamp does work. Now we show him, obviously, with clients, et cetera. So we tell the story. And so what we do, we not only make videos of clients who have lost a tremendous amount of weight, and we give that story to our franchisees to share on social media and run ads, but we just use case studies, and the end of every case study it says, so, interested in seeing if there's a Fit Body Bootcamp territory available in your area?
Still interested?
Still interested? It goes back to still interested. When we would ask on these ads, click here to apply to become a Fit Body Bootcamp owner, that's too hardcore of a commitment. But to go, hey, are you interested to know if there's a territory available in your area? That's just a soft enough pitch after watching a heartwarming, an emotional case study of an owner or two. Now we have almost like 24 of these case studies, and we always run these videos. Yeah. And then we push them over to the are you interested in seeing if there's a territory available? They'll fill out a form and put in their zip code. And then process #2 is now fill out the longer application to see if you're financially qualified to own one, right? And now we can scale these to literally as many eyeballs as we want. And if we decide, gosh, we need more Fit Body Bootcamps in Utah or this part of Texas, we can show these ads to specifically targeted geographic areas, and we can focus on where we want our Fit Body locations to grow. This has been like a tremendous tool for us. One other thing we do is, as people who have watched the videos, we're building an audience, right? So we take those people who didn't fill out an application but have watched the videos, and we show them the second one, a third one. And we notice by the third one, they start filling out the application because now they see a series of owners who are always successful. And what's the common denominator? Fit Body Bootcamp.
Awesome, awesome. And I love how the still, are you interested is very much, and the click here didn't work. And that's why I think the swipe up is really not as helpful, because when you see swipe up, you know what it's going to. It's much more personal to do the direct message. Awesome. So 2 more, Instagram and Facebook live videos. I do a lot of Instagram lives. You've done a ton of Facebook lives. There's lots of money here, not as much money in the stories, but lots of money there, because what I found is that some people don't watch stories, but they watch lives. Some people watch stories but won't watch lives. And it builds that community because you can go back and forth with somebody, which you can't do in the Instagram TV and you can't do in the Instagram stories. So that's what I've found with the Instagram Lives. What are you finding still with Facebook Lives, or are you doing them much anymore?
Yeah, well, I'm not doing them as much as I used to, but when I did them, and I am actually going to go back to doing them. And in case anyone's wondering, and I'll fully disclose this, my business is growing so quickly. One, I mean, you're my dear friend, and I sometimes miss emails. But number two, I needed to get 2 more leaders on board. So I was hell-bent on interviewing leaders and getting them on board. Now that I have 2 more leaders on board, I can go back to carving out time. But here's how I always looked at Instagram and Facebook live videos. If I said, hey, Craig, I've got the perfect audience for you, and the event is taking place in Mississippi.
Tupelo.
Tupelo, is it Tupelo, Mississippi, really? It's taking place in Tupelo, Mississippi, and I got 600 people of the right audience. Would you go and speak at it? I mean, you'd buy your own ticket, you'd buy your own hotel room and go speak, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's what you can do with the Instagram or Facebook Live, and you could do it on demand right from home or right from your office and right from off a selfie stick or an iPhone. Right? Because when you do a live video to fans or followers, they're usually the right audience. I mean, Facebook and Instagram is really good at harvesting the right audience for you. And then what we do, but here's the magical thing about it. Instagram doesn't allow us to do it yet, but Facebook does. Once your live is over and it becomes a regular video on your Facebook fan page, we promote that. We boost it and pay to show our audience this video for a longer period of time. And basically, you're giving a 30-minute or 1-hour talk. And what happens when you go give a talk? You get off stage, and all of a sudden people go, oh man, I love what you said. I was a little skeptical about you when I read about you on the website, but then when I saw you on stage, I realized, like, oh my gosh, I got to learn more from this guy. How much is your coaching? Well, that happens to us all the time. You can do this through live videos on Instagram and Facebook anytime you want, as long as you have the right audience in front of you.
And you can also build that audience that you were talking about before, right?
Absolutely.
And then can you take that Facebook Live video off of Facebook?
You can. Both Instagram and Facebook, you can download it to your phone.
Got it.
And now chop it up and use it as stories, chop it up and use it on the main timeline, or repurpose it on YouTube.
Awesome. Awesome. Absolutely amazing. So the last one I talked about a little bit before, people aren't using this enough, is Instagram direct message video. And the reason why I want you to use this is because you're scared, you're terrified of using video right now, and it's holding you back because, like you said, you're not doing it, your competition is, and you're gonna get left in the dust. And so I've made videos for a long, long time. I used to be really terrible. I'm not too bad now. But the thing is, even, just talking to your phone, it can kind of be like weird. And then there was a game-changing moment. I remember this girl was walking down the street in Toronto. And in Toronto, lots of millennials, lots of young people. Every person in that age group is walking and FaceTiming. It's ubiquitous, it's everywhere. And so it's like, listen, if I can't feel self-conscious doing it on the street anymore because everybody's doing it. Nobody's looking at you funny. So that was like a hurdle for me to get over, and then I just went all in on it. And I actually did this 30-day selfie video challenge on my main Instagram feed. You can go back and watch the videos. I tell you what to say that day. So I'm basically making you become better on video in 30 days. Like, here's how to do the proper lighting. Here's how to do a video in public places. So you need to do that. But the easiest, lowest barrier for you to do is like, just send a video to your best friend, to your mom, to your sister, to your brother, to your kids. You'll get used to talking into the phone, and then you'll be ready to go and do the Instagram Lives. One of the things I like about Instagram Lives and Stories is that they're kind of like, you don't have to worry if they're good or not because they're going to disappear. They're going to be gone. Yeah. They're going to go away. So that takes away a lot of the, oh my gosh, so what, you're not putting it up on YouTube for eternity. Not that you couldn't take it down from there, but it's going to disappear. So just realize that. Get loose, because that's when you're going to make your best videos, as you mentioned, when you're in your car, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, when you're most comfortable and have a lot to say. By the way, can I make either a suggestion or pose it as a question in case you've already done this?
Absolutely.
The highlights. Like, I love the highlights.
Interesting.
Yeah, I love the highlights. And what reminded me of this, and I think it's worth sharing here on this episode, is that, hey, you know what? If an episode is not good, if you kind of shit the bed a little bit, on a video, it's gone in 24 hours. Or hell, you could delete it on the spot. Yeah. But what if, like the one with Tim, where it's a 15-second testimonial, right? Yeah. What if you had a perfect day formula case study highlight?
Yes.
Right? And what if you had a highlight of dates and locations? So that when you put up a story with dates and locations, or you put up a case study, you say, save it in my highlights. Yeah, it leaves your stories, but it's forever in your highlights. Just a suggestion.
Yes, that is actually, the student has become the teacher today. Yeah, thank you. I used some highlights, but I was just like, I don't really watch that many people's highlights, but I should never, ever do my business based on what I do, because I don't do anything normal. So yes, great idea. So that is actually the 7th way to use video on Instagram, is to add really great stories to your highlights. Awesome stuff, B. That's why we keep you around. The last thing I want to say about why you should do videos instead of texting is because I'm getting like your thumbs. Like I can't spell any of my words right. So it takes you less time to make a video than it does to send the text messaging. So listen, video, 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 video. That's the future. It has been the future for the last 5 years. You got to get in on the game. It's going to be a game changer for you. This man's doing it. I'm doing it. You're going to do it too. Thank you so much for joining us for another amazing episode of the Empire Podcast. Now, the greatest compliment that you can give to us is liking, loving, and sharing this episode with all of your friends. So please go to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating, and then share it online and social media with everyone that you know, and make sure to tag us, because we love hearing from Empire listeners.
And if you own a business that's doing $500,000 or more in annual revenues, and you know it's got massive potential, and you'd like myself and Craig Ballantyne to help you scale it by 5x, 10x, and 20x in the shortest amount of time possible, then you might be a great candidate for the Empire Mastermind program that we have. To learn more about the Empire Mastermind program, go to bedroskeuilian.com/empire.